Excellent. All right. Hey, everybody. It's Wednesday, 12:30. More learning for us. As we have been talking about what tools are useful for teachers, we have neglected to talk about some of the amazing extensions that are available to people in Chrome that we use every day to make our lives a little bit easier to handle. So what are extensions? Let's talk about what Chrome extensions are. First of all, Chrome extensions are the little buttons that hang out in your browser up next to the URL or the web address bar. They are to the right here. As you can see, I have several installed. Miranda or Carrie, I can't see you, but can you see that moving my mouse across the extensions?
Yes.
Okay.
I see it pointing to the, is that the cast one?
Yes. Okay, great. I just didn't know if you could see my presentation or if you can actually see the whole thing. Good. So they're the little buttons that help you be more productive in Chrome. These extensions only work on the Chrome browser on your Mac laptop or PC laptop or on your desktop. They do not work on an iPad. So if we're talking about extensions, we are talking about the Chrome browser that's on a Chromebook or a laptop, but not an iPad. They live right next to your browser bar. Sometimes you can't see them all, and you can take this and you can actually drag it to make a larger or smaller dock for some of these things. So if you can't see them, you can drag that out and you can change how many you can see there. And you can move them around if you want to. Like if I want to move my Bitmoji up to the front, I just drag it and move it, and there we go. I can arrange what extensions I have and where they're located in my browser bar. That you can add them through the Chrome Web Store. The Chrome Web Store, if you just Google Chrome Web Store, this is what it looks like. And you can just start searching by the name. So meet attendance. And I know the title of something that I was looking for. And here it is, meet attendance. And I just say add to Chrome and then add the extension. And then it pops up right here in my browser bar, right? When I click on it, it's cool. Will it? Oh, I wonder if I have to actually be in Meet for it to work. I'm going to try it right now live. Oh, there we go. And now I'm in a window that it actually works in, and my Apple went red. This is my Meet attendance. If I click on it, will it allow me? Never used this one before. Oh, it's not allowing me to do it. We'll see. Live demos just never work well. So anyway, that's how you add an extension. You just go to the Chrome Web Store, and then you just click Add to Chrome. Now, let's say something isn't working very well for you. What you can do is you can two-finger click on your trackpad, or you can command click or control click. And when you do that, you get this little menu. It says remove from Chrome, hide in Chrome menu, or you can manage all your extensions. So if you just wanted to remove that one extension, you can just remove it. If you want to see a list of all your extensions, click manage extensions. It'll take you to your settings. And then I can say if this is turned on or off. And it shows me all the extensions that I have and if I want to remove them or enable them or disable them. Right? Some of these are installed, like Nod is installed by your institution, but that's what your management dashboard looks like for extensions. So try it, add extensions to Chrome, and know that you can, in 2 seconds, you can remove them if you don't want to be working with them. Okay, so the two that we're just going to cruise right on by, the two probably most famous ones that we have here are Screencastify and Loom. Screencastify and Loom are both screen recording extensions, and I have them right up here. And if I click on my Loom tab, it will load up and it will pop this here, and I can start recording my screen just right from that extension. I don't have to launch any other programs. It's right there. Screencastify works the same way. I just click start recording and I go. So we've used a lot of those before. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but those are must-haves for some screen recording. Ones that we haven't talked about, go back here, is the Share to Classroom. There's a bunch of Google stuff that we can actually do with extensions. We have Share to Classroom, which has been pushed out for everybody. This is a really cool extension because if I click it, it will allow me to take whatever website I'm looking at and I can push it out into a classroom. So if I want to push it into my Appy Hour classroom, I click there, and then I have a couple of options. I can push it to students. This means that if they're sitting in class with their Chromebooks open, if I push to students, this web page will actually pop up on their Chromebooks, which is like mind-blowingly cool. The other thing that I could do is I could create an assignment out of the web page that I'm looking at. So I could say create an assignment out of this web page, and I can choose the class and the students and what the title is, and I get all of my Google Classroom stuff right here, and I can assign it right from this extension. So it's really cool and really powerful. Another one that is very googly is this one, which is Save to Drive. If I click Save to Drive, it basically takes a screenshot of whatever I am looking at, turns it into a picture, and shoots it straight into my Google Drive, so that I can use it in a Google slideshow later, or I can use it for, like, sometimes if there's like an email I want to document, I can just take a picture of it and just send it right into my drive as a picture. So that's pretty cool. Sorry, what's going on? Computer's going slow. Yeah, you know, it's Wednesday. Alex Keeler is someone who does a lot with Google and Google Classroom, and she's made two really cool ones. One is Class Roster, which is this icon right here. If you click on it, it'll take any roster from a Google Classroom that you have and just put it into a spreadsheet. So now you have a spreadsheet with your class roster, so you can like make a spreadsheet and record things for them. The Anyone Can View is really useful if you need to, let's say you're working on a Google Doc and we want to make sure that anyone with the link can view it, and you don't want to have to like click sharing and then click settings and more, and then like anyone with the link can view and then click save. You should just be able to click that one button and it'll just automatically change the settings of that document, and be anyone with the link can view. Google Meet attendance is another one. I just tried that right now. I hadn't tried it before, but I wanted to see if it worked. But you could get a Google Sheet of people in your Google Meet, which is a pretty interesting thing, but I haven't been able to get it to work right now.
Sorry to interrupt. I just figured that out, like just now.
Yeah. Tell us, how does it work?
Attendance. So what you want to do is you don't click on the extension. You click on, you see the little people thing? You have 27 people here.
Oh.
Click on that, and it puts them in the spreadsheet.
Whoa. So it
so click on where it says people 27.
Yeah.
Do it. Does it do it? Because mine just changed to like a little red arrow. Oh, a 27th person just joined. Not sure why it's not.
Anyway, well, we have to say that some of these are made by Google, and some of them are not made by Google. They're just made by people who are like, this would be a cool extra functionality. So sometimes they're more high quality than others, and you know, you got to kind of try them out. That being said, if where was I going with this? It's been a long day already. I don't know what I was gonna say. We can try out any of these we want to. We can remove them from Chrome. Somebody just put into chat that sometimes extensions are blocked by our domain, that like if a student wanted to use it, I think usually teachers are able to download extensions, but sometimes you get blocked, sometimes a student gets blocked. Put in a tech request to CNS if there's an extension that you find useful or would like to use, and they can enable it so that we can actually download and use these extensions. Oh, I know what I was gonna say before I just got so excited and started diving into these things. If there are extensions that you've been using that you think are incredible, feel free to pop those into the chat, and maybe at the end we can go and take like a tour and have people share about what they've been using, which is amazing. Okay, so we talked about some screencasting extensions. We talked about some Googly extensions, which are awesome. I'm going to head on back here, and we're going to move on to emoji and Bitmoji. And I think Carrie was going to share a little bit about that.
So I get the fun extensions for today. Well, they're all fun, but so Bitmoji is something that was really came up last week when we had Bitmoji classrooms. But if you're interested in making a Bitmoji, I will show you an example. Should I? Do you want me to present this? Or just,
here we go. I'll stop sharing. There you go.
Okay.
And now you can take it.
All right. Let me just. Okay, with Bitmoji, you can, let me open up my little Bitmoji extension here. You'll create your actual avatar of yourself on your phone or your mobile device. You'll start there, and then when you get the extension, you'll log in and you can add it to your Chrome extensions. And then you can tell it if you want to add it to your email. I'll just open up this little extension here so you can see I'm logged in. And then it'll give you directions if you need to make the Bitmoji and so forth. And then it will let you link. So for example, if I have this email going on, I now have my little Bitmoji. And when I bring it up, it will give me, oops. Oh, it opened up that way again. Okay. Let me do it from the actual little extension. So you can see how it opens up. You can search for, well, why is it having me get started again?
Looks like you may have gotten signed out somehow.
Somehow I did. Let me log myself back in. There we go. Okay, so it'll give you an opportunity if you want to add it into your extension, if you want to add it into your Gmail and so forth. So yeah, now I'm logged in. So if I go, for example, I have it added onto my email and I have it down here. So I can click on it and you can search by your mood. You can search by an opportunity. You can search by an occasion. So, you know, here's, I miss seeing everybody. You can add that into your emails. You can add it into documents. And then that is the launching point, for example, if you wanted to then really go crazy and start some sort of Bitmoji virtual classroom. So that's the launching point for Bitmoji. Another one on there is Emoji Keyboard. And that is the little heart-shaped guy. So I will just open up that. It's basically giving you all those familiar emojis. Same thing, you can search for what you'd like. And then you can copy and paste those into Google Classroom. You can put them into your emails and so forth. And then the last one is the Giphy. And these are also searchable images. And what I like here too is just being from the library team, it does give credit to the GIF. So for example, if I had my email open again, and I was to put, I wanted to put in a GIF, and maybe I wanted, you can search if you want, so you can do a search. And they're mostly appropriate. I would suggest for school, just making sure that they still are. But what's really great is you can just drag them over. And I like that they give credit to the image. And so I like that part too. All right. I'm going to go and stop sharing my screen if anybody has questions about those.
Yeah, you totally got the fun one.
I did. I did.
I think Miranda, we were going to talk about how to manage multiple tabs and how to make your screen look a little bit better. So Miranda is going to be sharing a little bit about that.
Yes, I am. I forgot the order. So one thing that we've been talking about in different sessions is, what if you're working with a student one-on-one or a small group of students, and you want to present something to them, like a video or a book or something, a website, and you want to also see them. So if I'm in a Google Meet, when I leave the Meet, I can't see the other person, and that's kind of strange. So two different options. One is called Dualist, and that will split the screen, and you can choose kind of the which size you want, horizontal, vertical. The one I like better is called, I think, Tab Resize. And so you can see here, like, I can put my Google Meet on one side and a new document on the other, so that I still see everybody who's in the meeting, but I could be also showing something else. So I do think I like the screen or tab resize better, because it gives me so many options, and it also shows me where it's going to put that Google Meet. And so I can, I could manually resize my screen, but this is just a nice, quick way to do that. All right. Okay. I think that's it. That's a pretty simple but useful extension. Okay, great. So those are on the presentation, but the first one was called Dualist, Dualles, and the second one is Tab Resize. And you'll, Tab Resize right down there. Okay.
Okay, so when I asked people to put in what extensions are working for them, Brigitte chimed in right away and said, share to Seesaw, or reflect in Seesaw. And that is a fantastic thing. I'm going to start sharing my screen again and show you how that works. And Brigitte, if you want to unmute and chat about this too, feel free to do so.
So I love this. I actually don't, because at first grade we use the iPads. We don't use this feature, but if I were teaching, third grade through any other grade, the nice thing about this is you can capture anything on your screen and it automatically embeds itself into a Seesaw post. And so you can manipulate it. It goes to what they call your canvas. And so you can manipulate it and do all sorts of things. I'm curious to see, they have a new update that's coming. I'm so excited. All that work that you guys have been putting in, they have taken all that work off our shoulders. So I'm super excited about that. And we'll talk about that, I guess, later. But I'm curious to see if when videos are able to be clipped in, we'll see if that works. But it's awesome if you guys just are looking through either your Google Docs, your slides, anything that you just want to quickly pop into Seesaw, it does it automatically. So it's kind of great.
So right now I'm just looking at a Wikipedia page about a rattlesnake because that's the first thing I found. I don't know rattlesnake. I don't know why I'm feeling that. I'm in a rattlesnake mood. And I want to take this and I want to share this with my students in Seesaw. So all I'm going to do is click this Post to Seesaw button. And then I can say capture whole visible area or selected area. I'm actually just going to capture selected area. And I'm just going to select this right here because that's what I want to talk about. Boom. And then it opens up Seesaw automatically. So that was like one click, select my thing, and then it automatically starts a post in Seesaw. And now I can add my text and I can draw on things and I can use my magic pens. And I can record my voice. So I am right now just making a post right off of something that I saw on my Chrome browser. So that's just really, and then I hit the green check mark and it's good to go. So that's pretty amazing. Another thing that I wanted to share, and so that was called Post to Seesaw. And it just looks like the little Seesaw thing. Another thing that I wanted to share, because I used to be a math teacher. I'm just going to start a new Google Doc so you can see how this works here. Is an app called Equate.io. I'll repeat that again, Equate.io. And what that does is if I am in a Google Doc or if I'm in a Google form, what I can do is I can click the Equate.io button and it launches, there we go, down on the bottom, it launches the Equate.io toolbar. And so it's an equation editor, which is really, really cool. So if you're used to using like LaTeX typing, that's fine. One of the features here is handwriting recognition. So I could be like 3, and I'm just using my trackpad right now, so it's not great. 3/4 plus 7/12. Oops, there we go. And you can see it's actually like reading my handwriting recognition over here. And then I just say insert math. And then boom, it inserts that as, I don't know why it's not working right now. Oh, there we go. It actually inserts that as a picture into my Google Doc. Like, that's free. It's incredible. Also, you could do, so that's handwriting recognition. You could also do speech input. So I could be like, so start speech recording. So 12 divided by 17. I hit pause, and then it puts that in, and I say insert math, and it inserts it in as well as another picture. And these just become pictures in your Google Docs that you can just move around. They're just text elements that you can move around. So I just thought that that was really cool. As a math teacher, I would use that all the time if I'm doing Google Doc assignments. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. I'm going to stop presenting here, and I'm going to hand it back over to, is it Miranda or Carrie who's doing the accessibility?
That's me. That's me. Let me present. Okay. So one of the tools that we have for all of our students and for teachers too and staff, but it's Snap and Read is a great tool that students can use to hear anything read out loud and also to translate and do a bunch of other things. So I'm going to do a really, really quick demo, but Snap and Read, it's right here for students. For you, you may have to download it because we pushed it out to every student. The other thing to know is for students who are not on their school device, they may not have it. They may have to add it and log in with their Google account. I'll go ahead and use Rattlesnakes as well. Let's see. And so you should see over here when it's turned on, you'll have the black bar. And I can click on the speaker and it will start.
Rattlesnakes are a group of venomous snakes of the genera Crotalus ancistralus, one of the subfamily Crotalaria.
So that will do the audio, but it will also do things like translate if I've set it to translate to another language. So I can, or the student can choose certain passages and see it translated. You can also translate and do a read aloud. So it is a computer voice, but it can be really helpful for students to translate one word or more, or do a read aloud. And then there are also tools that let them focus on one line. There's also some nice tools. It does a lot, but there's
ecology, range, and habitat.
We'll turn that off. And then one more thing, if you go up here, you can remove all the distractions, and that's a really nice option. All right. So head on over. But Cubby Beard is our person who knows everything there is to know about Snap and Read and CoWriter and our other accessibility extensions. So, and I know she's in here if you have questions for her. All right.
Wow. So that's a really cool extension. That's like super powerful. And that's like a whole bunch of features in one, like, because I know that Google Translate extension that translates things, but it looks like Snap and Read does that too. So there's so many different extensions out there. Again, if there are extensions that you love and you want to share, please put those in the chat as we'll hang around here and answer some questions. there are how I find my extensions. I talk to other people and ask them what they're using and what they like. I Google what are the best extensions for teachers, and then I watch like a little 5-minute YouTube video and be like, oh, what little tools are there out there for you? It's just sometimes I just poke around in the Chrome web store and see what's out there. Like I'm looking for a translation extension. Is there anything out there? Somebody asked me about a colorblind accessibility extension, and I was able to find one in the store. I forgot the name of it. I think it's just called Colorblind, and you can adjust the colors on your Chrome browser so that it teases out the differences in the colors, so you can actually see things better if you are a colorblind person trying to use a browser. So there are so many cool things. I use the Google Calendar extension. I use the Google Meet extension for quick chats up in my browser. I use a Twitter extension so I can quickly tweet stuff. Anyone else got extensions that they just want to mention offhand, other things that they love?
There's so many that are really cool, and then there are plenty that are just silly. There's one that will drop confetti down on your web page as you're watching it, and like, do you really need that? Probably not, but maybe. I wanted to quickly, I'll show what I see with the Meet attendance. Take just a second to do that. Okay. So I'm not sure why it wasn't working earlier, but with this Meet attendance, the little heart is red. I'm able to click on the people, and it just downloaded everybody and sent you over to a spreadsheet, and it's time-stamped. So throughout, I've been taking attendance, so I can see who left the Meet and didn't stay.
It will probably work on my next Meet, but as I was installing it for this one, because I was trying to show off, it wasn't working, but probably the next time it will work for me.
Well, I'm sure. And yeah, that with Snap and Read too, like troubleshooting is basically like refresh your screen, and then that solves most of the problems. Like every one of them has a little tricky thing.
Carrie, what is custom cursor?
That is a very, very silly, oh, here, I'll turn my camera on. Super silly extension that will change your cursor. So, example, you can have Harry Potter's wand, or you could have like there's a fried egg and a piece of bacon, and it'll change. And I started to think, wow, that could be distracting. But then I also started to think, what if you were working, one-on-one with a student, and that would be highly motivating. They have a ton of they have a whole animal theme. They have a whole like fantasy theme or sports theme. So maybe it would be motivating for the student to look for the moving dog paw as we're reading this together, or just something fun and lighthearted. But it's a little bit like Bitmoji. You can just have fun with it.
There's actually, I hate to even say it, but there's an extension that will let you do some special effects in Google Meet. It's not a full green screen background, but I'm not even going to tell you what it is. You can seek it out. It'll do things like turn your head into a cube that floats off. So some very, very useful, others just silly.
Yeah. There's lots of like tab management extensions out there, like Tab Scissors and Tab Glue, where it'll take tabs and put them into two windows, or then it'll like stick them back together in one click. There are annotation ones where you can draw on the screen. They're a little clunky though. There's Google Keep, which is a note-taking extension. If you use Google Keep, it's like Google's version of just little Post-it sticky notes. And you can just click the send to Google Keep, and it'll send whatever website you're looking at. It'll just send it over to Google Keep, and just then you have it in your notes. So that's something that I've used in the past. I have a calendar one. I click on it, it gives me a quick update and a quick add to my calendar. So it's just one less quick click for me. There are timer apps where you can like set attention timers. So you can like say, I want to work on this for 10 minutes. And so you set the timer. Yeah, there are thousands of apps, and it just depends on what you're trying to do and what you find useful.
Yeah. Do you know how to remove them though? Because if you have too many, I mean, you can definitely, and they can sometimes conflict with each other or cause problems. So just.
Yeah. All right, that is our 1 o'clock time. We got to get going to our next meeting. I'll stick around for the next 2-3 minutes if people have questions, but thanks for coming, and let us know if you find any cool extensions that we should share out. All right, take care.